The S&P 500 is still fighting really hard to break through that $7,000 level. And tomorrow, we have an inflation report that is about to be released 1 hour before the market opens. In today's video, we're gonna look at a few stocks that may provide an opportunity, especially if the inflation report comes out cooler than expected. So let's dive into the charts right off the bat. We got the SPY, and right now this is looking very, very sloppy. Okay, it's narrow, yes, but it's fighting really hard to stay above 7,000. And let me clean up the charts and let's check out the daily. And so far, the bulls are still in control. We had a dragonfly doji after the futures were down over the weekend. Buyers stepped in heavy out the gates and held the SPY above that level. Do not fight the trend until it gives us a reason to go the other way. Do not fight this trend. All right, I don't have any reason to be bearish at this moment. 7,050 could be a possibility depending on what the number comes out to be. And I say this because we got to look at the other indices. So QQQ, I told y'all to keep in mind the possibility of this one holding above the line and then eventually going up to fill the gap on the left, right at 632. And it did pretty well today. It didn't collapse below 620. It held its own. Buyer stepped up. The volume, not that great. It wasn't even as big as Friday's volume, but it's okay. All right, it's trying its best to stay clean. So we'll see how things turn out in the morning. Right now, things are a little bit down, as you can see on the left-hand side with the futures. The Nasdaq is down by 0.30% right now. Again, things could change in the morning. Now, the other reason why I think that the market can go a little bit higher is because we got to check out the Dow Jones. All right, and with the Dow Jones looks much better than everything else, actually, to be honest. Let's look at the 1 hour. And before this thing even happened, last month, or I would say during the last 40 to 45 days, it had a bull flag on the charts right there, followed by the breakouts on last week Monday on the 5th, and then resistance became new support. Buyers stepped in and held. And right now, as you can see, with the Dow Jones, we are making higher lows. I had this alert like 2 weeks ago before this thing even broke out at 500. And it's been playing games after this initial push to 494. It's playing games, but it is forming a new structure, which is making it a bit more simple to figure out which way we're gonna go next. All right, so this is a bullish pennant. We're breaking out. If tomorrow's inflation report is 2.7 or lower, we could just see this thing actually open at 500. And then what happens after that, that is a mystery to me. If you're open up too high, the smart thing to do is to not chase. All right, it's to not chase to the long side, because the odds are we might fade back down to support right here, right? If you open up too high. So just keep that in mind. Price target for the Dow Jones before the potential reversal is 499 or 500. Now, let's talk about a stock that could provide a big opportunity tomorrow if the inflation number is cooler than expected. That one is going to be Oracle. And Oracle, I want to share this one with y'all because if you look at the daily chart, it got slammed after this earnings pop from 240 all the way up to 340. It dropped all the way down by about 50%, down to $180. And right now, it's been consolidating, but it's looking like it wants to make a move higher. the volume at the bottom is still, it is slowly increasing comparing to the last 2 weeks, especially during this Christmas week. This was the mess right here. It's slowly increasing. But the other thing that I like about it is how today it closed the day above 202. All right, if we zoom in right here on the 1 hour chart, you can see that we had a solid line of resistance that broke through today and actually held throughout the entire day, and we closed around 204. Tomorrow, will we see a retest of 202? Maybe. It doesn't have to, but we might see it before we push higher to the target of 220. How fast is it gonna get up to 220? I don't know. I really don't know. But the good news is the gap on the left just started to get filled. So how it gets out here is a mystery to me. I just know that eventually it's going to get up here, whether it is by the end of this week or at some point next week. So this is definitely a stock that y'all want to keep on your watch list for tomorrow. Another way to actually look at this thing, at least the way I saw it last week on Friday, was this. There's a bullish triangle on the chart right there, and it broke out on Friday, and then today it opened around 197, played some games, and then finally broke above Friday's high, and then a lot of buyers stepped in here. Okay, so analysis is still the same. I still think it's gonna go to 220 somewhere out here. Maybe it might drag its feet and get there next week. All right, I don't know how fast it's gonna get up there, but I just know that that gap is gonna get filled. Now, let's talk about another stock. Let's talk about one stock that I've mentioned in yesterday's video, Apple. So Apple, the bears are still in control of Apple. It didn't open the day below 257. This is sloppy, by the way. I didn't like the way it closed. That's why this video isn't about Apple to the long side. It's not. I don't like that. This is not the close I'm looking for. But yeah, that alert at the bottom right here at 256 never ringed, so I couldn't even take a day trade on this thing short. I still have it on there. Eventually it's going to ring when the market reaches its targets, when the Dow Jones goes to 500 and maybe even a little bit above, and when things start to get weak, that alert is gonna ring. And then when it does, there will be a massive outflow of money, and shorts pile it on to this stock just to fill the gap below at 252. For now, I'm just watching it. I'm not shorting it, I'm just watching it. I'm waiting for it to show me what I want to see. If we look at the daily charts, yeah, the trend is still bearish. We might even tag the 9 SMA, and then the candle after the one that touches the 9 SMA could be a bearish engulfing candle. So depending on how fast we get up there, this is the 13, the 14, the 15. Friday is the 16. Okay, so between the 14 and the 15, things might get very interesting for Apple. I think we might see that rejection followed by the drop that I've been anticipating since the beginning of the year. All right, the trend is still bearish. It just needs to show us what we want to go back in short. All right, but that's my thoughts on it. Let's talk about another stock, Tesla. Yeah, we got time. Tesla. I mentioned Tesla to you guys yesterday about the potential gap fill at 474. I drew the red band right there. Today it opened up a little bit lower but pushed out the gates and then closed above Friday's high. This could outperform tomorrow depending on how cool the inflation report is. If the inflation report is cooler than expected, then we might see big volume on Tesla, and we might see a big candle that looks like this. It's not impossible for Tesla to go from 450 all the way up to 474 in one day. It could very much happen. So keep this one in your watch list for a potential long. Best case scenario, it shows us a structure intraday to make money from like 455 all the way up to 470. But it gotta show us something good. It has to. Now, one more stock. As y'all heard, or as y'all may have heard, Google just became, I think, the 4th company to hit a $4 trillion market cap after closing the day above 330. This is a good one. I say this because if you look on the left, right here, there's a bunch of short sellers who are not too happy about Google not only getting back to that level, but also closing the day above this line right there. They're not too happy about that. They're not too happy about it. And when we zoom into what's going on right now, there is an ascending triangle on the chart right there. And today we closed the day above the last high and above resistance, because it tried to break through it multiple times before. Once and then twice it failed, and now 3 times it held. Okay, so tomorrow again, if the inflation report is cooler than expected, or they release more news about their collaboration with Apple, because apparently Apple is collaborating with Google Gemini AI to power Apple's Siri. That's the news that they released today. All right, if more volume comes into this thing, then we can easily see Google climb beyond $4 trillion and get up to $340 per share. That's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Once again, I am not your financial advisor. Do your own research, all right? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also don't forget to follow me on social media right up here, okay? As always, again, don't forget to like and follow for more.